Now, am I in front of anybody? Can everyone see? Okay. So my name's Lisa Sherbin. I am a hockey mom as well, and I am the analyst with the drug programs at the College of Physicians and Surgeons. So what I deal with every day is prescription drugs, misuse, abuse. And so when I was sitting in the audience 2 years ago, I was like, hey, I want to go up there and talk and say what I want to say. And I'm like, Kelly, can I? And he says, okay. So now I'm here. So I think that it's awesome that you guys all took a part and you're coming here to help out your team. I think that's just like, thanks very much. It's appreciated. I know how much time it puts on you guys, and I know you guys are trying to get home. So let's get going. Biggest thing is, how does this affect our family? I wanted to talk to you just about your bathrooms, your homes, your all the drugs that are prescribed to you, your husband, your kids. If you guys can remember anything from my presentation, anything in your cupboards that you you don't use anymore, that you had a surgery 5 years ago for a knee surgery, and you have 5 pills left in your cupboard, please get that the hell out of your house. Don't give the opportunity for your kid or your kid's friend to go start somewhere. Addiction starts somewhere. Don't let it start in your house. That was my biggest message. Tonight when you get home, go into your cupboards. Anything that's expired, get it out. There's no reason. Why? Why is it there? Every community pharmacy in Saskatchewan has a program set up to safely dispose of those medications. If you had anything, get it out of your house. There's no reason for those Dilaudids. Well, what if I get a migraine? Go back and see the doctor. Go talk to your doctor about that. There's no reason that oxycodones should be in your. They were there for a reason. Don't let it. You never know. You never know who's in your house. You have lots of your kids are at 13 to 18. You're gonna have lots of kids in your house. They open up a cupboard in your kitchen. There's something there. There's a T3 from 8 years ago that Dr. So-and-so specialist wrote. Get it out of your house. Don't let the story start in your home. And the pharmacies told me that after last year that so many bags were getting dropped off at the pharmacy the next week. Please let more of your drugs get back to the pharmacy and get them out of your house. So when the police officers were talking about the opioid crisis, I went, and I knew that I'm usually always with the police department presentation, and I wanted to see what the opioid crisis did. So I looked at the Canadian Medical Association Journal, and this is an article actually from 2 days ago, an editorial, and I thought it was so interesting. There was 2 paragraphs in it. And the title of it was, Canada's youth are a part of the opioid crisis and need treatment. That's huge. That's your kids, that's my kid. And how can we make a change? How can this be the generation where addiction stops? Kids that are like in good homes are living on streets because of addiction. How the heck can we change this? And it changes by reducing that opportunity. Early substance use dramatically increases the risk of future and lifelong substance use disorder. No doubt, right? There was another paragraph in that exact article. Young people are predisposed to act impulsively and take risks and lack knowledge that older groups can draw from. This means youth frequently experiment with substances, which for some will lead to addiction or death if not addressed. No doubt, we know that. My kid's 14 and he's an idiot sometimes, the choices he makes. And I know some parents in the room and they're like, yeah, Zach does try his best. Anyway. Just reduce the opportunity. Go into your cabinets when you get home. Go and talk to your, maybe there was a stimulant in maybe your kid tried something for ADHD and it didn't work in the past and that drug's in the cabinet. He's not using it anymore. Get it out of the house. Maybe his buddy's gonna try it. And that starts maybe that story of addiction. And who wants that on their conscience when they're, oh, so-and-so got into my pills one day. This is the terrible slide I always put up, but I always go to the Saskatchewan Coroner Service and I always look at what happens in our homes. What happens in Saskatchewan? Saskatchewan, this is the data right now. 10 to 19-year-old females, 10 to 19-year-old males. Who are those kids? And they actually live right here in Saskatchewan and they died. And that is that is a total opioid death. And then I was like, hey, so what happens with all drug toxicity? Any drugs that are found in a deceased body, not age and not any specific drug, but all drug opioid toxicities, pardon me, here, we'll go down. There's Saskatoon right there. 57 people since January 1st has died of a drug toxicity death in Saskatoon. And the saddest thing is, when I did this presentation up, the new data came up and 4 more people had died in October that I had to add numbers to this. And those are people like, you guys, there's 100 people in this room. 57 people are dead over, and it could be accidental, it could be meant, it could be different reasons, right? I always slide up the one side, up the side. I hope that my presentation will leave you with this, that it doesn't let anyone you love get into those numbers. That's huge. Now cannabis isn't really my thing, but I wanted to look into it with my pharmacy background. And I cannot believe how many cannabis stores are in Saskatoon, right? How many did you guys drive by when you guys came here? Like, there's probably, I Googled and it says 35. There's no way. There's got to be more than 50, I'm sure. Like, there's probably 10 alone in Silverwood, it seems, or in the North End. Everyone knows about the short-term effects. Everyone knows someone, or everyone's tried or something. But the worst thing is, and like Nicole said, is how it affects our kids' brains. Let them go figure out something. You know, back when I was in high school, no one knew any different. The data wasn't there. The data is here now for us. We know, and I'm just going to go past this one part because everyone knows about short-term effects of cannabis, long-term effects. If your kid tries any type of cannabis product before their brain is developed around 25, they have 11 times higher risk of having a psychiatric or a psychotic disorder when they're older. Could you imagine if you can just say, just hold off, buddy, like, go do something, go play hockey, go have fun, go do something. Don't go, and it's the thing that leads you into another thing. It could start with the drinking, it could start with the weed, but then there's bad choices continual. If we can have our kids be awesome, functioning adults by them choosing to make better choices up until their brains developed, it's a no-brainer for me. Like, let's try to push it off. Now that the data's there, push it off until after they're 25. The data there is the QR code, and it'll be online for YouTube later on. It was interesting. There's so many articles out. This one I found it interesting. And it's kind of like, I read them all and we're all like, yeah, everyone knows. And I know this sounds kind of not the nicest thing, but I'll say it. Everyone has that person in their life that maybe did too much weed in the 80s, and then you know that person now, and they have a hard time functioning. And now the data is starting to show why, and this is why we're talking about this today, is to kind of have those tough conversations with your kids. There's too many options. Like, they can go to school. My son goes to a North End high school. He can go into the school and he can come out with anything he wants for cannabis, vaping products. Everyone knows who to go to. And I'm just hoping that you just keep the conversation opening and keep him busy. I keep him on the ice as much as I can. If he wants to go on the ice, we're at the rink at 6, 7 in the morning. I don't care. I'll do anything to keep him busy. And this is the biggest one. Everyone's always trying to do their best, but try to set a positive example. If they see you doing something, they're going to want to do something. There was a parent party the other night, and everyone knows what happens at parent parties. I get my kid the heck out of the house. He doesn't need to see mom have 4 coolers. And that's leading to, and he doesn't. But I think it's like anything in your life. And it's an interesting thing if you, and that includes, of course, even smoking. Vaping, cannabis. Be honest with them with your struggles. Say, you know what, I'm not a smoker, but maybe if I was, I'm trying to, I would rather you make better choices. Don't be like, save some money, right? Do anything, just try to tell them about your own struggles, and maybe it might deter them a little bit, so.
I think I said the other day, maybe I would be
100%. Now, I went through, tried to find really neat risk assessments that you can go through yourself. And this is a substance use risk assessment. And there will be, you can click on the QR code and do that with your kid, or sit down and look. You'd be shocked just with the histories of, to see what your child's risk assessment turns out to be. My son was actually a lot higher than I thought, and that kind of made me start reassessing some things. So anyways, was I faster? Do you think you're going to go faster?